and you're very, very welcome to the first in a brand new series of That Feels Better with Boots. I'm delighted to say we're joined by the fabulous Dr Zoe.
Hello.
And Claire, who is Superintendent Pharmacist with Boots. A grand title.
Absolutely. Well, that just means that I oversee the whole thing. So whatever we're doing in our Boots pharmacies, that's my job.
It means you know stuff.
Oh, yeah.
That's exactly what it means. Today, we're talking about heart health, a very, very important subject indeed. Lots of questions coming in for both of you. First question comes in from Barry in Halifax. Thank you, Barry. I'm in my 50s, I feel fine. Do I really need to get my blood pressure checked if I have no symptoms, he asks?
So the short answer for Barry is absolutely yes. So anyone over the age of 40 should be keeping an eye on their blood pressure. We often refer to high blood pressure as the silent killer because for most people, it has absolutely no symptoms. If you're not checking it, you don't know that it's high. And if high blood pressure is left unchecked, then it can have lots of complications. It can increase the risk of heart attacks and strokes and other conditions. So the good news is that it's really easy to get it checked.
And the other good news is it is free for a lot of people out there. Claire, who is it free for?
It is. You can come into most of our Boots pharmacies in England and access a free blood pressure check, which is part of our health MOT check that we do for people who are over the age of 40, who haven't already had a diagnosis of high blood pressure from their GP previously. Come to your Boots pharmacy and our pharmacy team can help you to understand what your blood pressure is, as well as giving you brilliant advice on how to stay healthy. Or they'll be able to refer you if you do need to see your GP.
Great advice. Thank you both. And thank you, Barry, as well, who's a very calm man after all that advice. Right, let's move to our next question. It's Charlie in London. Why is healthy blood pressure important?
I think that's a really good question from Charlie because I think sometimes people do think, well, my blood pressure's a bit high, it doesn't matter. It matters because it puts extra strain on the heart and the blood vessels. So that increases the risks like heart attacks and strokes. There are 5 million people approximately in the UK who have undiagnosed high blood pressure. And when people have heart attacks and strokes, about 50% of them are in some way associated with high blood pressure. So it's preventable a lot of the time. So that's why it's so important to get it checked and get it treated if you need to.
That's why you got to pop into Boots, Claire, right?
Pop into Boots and have it checked so that you know your numbers, you know what your blood pressure is, and you know what steps you can take to stay healthy. Really
How long does it take, the test itself?
The test itself takes a couple of minutes.
It's
a really simple, it's a blood pressure monitor you can have in your home if you wanted to have your own. But we can certainly spend 5-10 minutes with you to take your blood pressure reading, explain what the results mean, and then give you some advice on top of that as well.
It's like a little hug on your arm, isn't it? That's all it is.
Arm hugs.
Arm hugs.
Pop into Boots for an arm hug.
Yeah, there you go.
Great advice. Good stuff. Right, let's crack on. We're going to Bob in Cardiff, and Bob asks, what is high blood pressure and what do the numbers actually mean? Lots of numbers.
I don't want to get bogged down too much with the numbers because it is quite confusing. But what blood pressure is the amount of pressure your blood is under in the system, in the blood vessels. So when it's high, it's under higher pressure than is healthy. And why that's important is that if persistently that blood pressure is raised, it damages the blood vessels. They should be elastic, but they can become quite stiff and firm. They can become narrowed, and there's an increased risk of that furring up of the arteries as well. And that can put your heart under more strain and increase your risk of heart attacks and strokes.
What can people do to reduce their risk of developing high blood pressure?
Firstly, a really healthy, balanced diet is really important. Keeping a close eye on your salt intake, so know how much salt is in what you're eating. That's really important. Cutting down on alcohol, stopping smoking completely is really important as well. And generally, basic good health and good lifestyle, so making sure you're getting plenty of sleep, you're addressing any stresses in your life. Generally, an all-round kind of lifestyle measures can really help you to reduce your risk.
OK, but you can make the changes yourself. That's
Absolutely.
The key here.
But also, if your blood pressure is high, if it's a little bit high, you can try these lifestyle factors. But, you know, if you do need medication, that can be helpful as well. And your GP can help with prescribing medication. And Boots will let you know that if you need to go and see your GP to take that next step.
Great stuff. Thank you both. Brilliant advice, and thank you for all your questions. So helpful for everybody watching at the moment. And thank you for watching this, the first in this special series of That Feels Better with Boots. Next up, we're tackling that everyday annoying stuff. Ear, nose, throat, sniffles, sinusitis. You know the stuff I'm talking about. You know where to come for the advice. We'll see you very soon.